1066, a year that would echo through the corridors of time. On the shores of Normandy, a storm was brewing, one that would change history. Duke William, a man of iron will and cold ambition, looked toward the horizon. England was a prize he believed was his by divine right. Across the duchy, the sound of hammers and saws rang out. A massive wooden fleet was rising, destined to carry an army across the deep. But across the water, King Harold II stood ready. A warrior king of the Anglo-Saxons, he had already bled for his crown. On the heights of Senlac Hill, Harold's men gathered, a wall of shields, miles of steel, and the heavy weight of destiny hung in the air. Then, the silence of the morning was shattered. The Norman line advanced, and the air hummed with the sound of 1,000 bowstrings. The arrows fell like a deadly rain, but the Saxon shields held firm. This was a clash of civilizations, a battle for the soul of England. William unleashed his knights. The earth trembled under the hooves of the great destriers as the Norman cavalry charged the hill. The impact was thunderous. Iron met, wood and the Saxon battle-axe clashed against the Norman lance in a brutal symphony of war. 4 hours. The line did not break. The Saxons stood like a cliff against the Norman tide, their resolve hardened by the blood of brothers. Suddenly, panic rippled through the Norman ranks. A cry went up, chilling the hearts of the invaders. "The Duke has fallen. William is dead." But the Duke was not finished. In a moment of pure defiance, William tore his helmet from his head, revealing his face to his retreating men. "Look at me!" he shouted. "I live, and by God's help, I shall conquer." His voice turned the tide of fear back toward the enemy. The Normans feigned a retreat, luring the Saxons down from their high ground. The shield wall, once unbreakable, began to crumble. It was the fatal mistake. In the chaos of the descent, the Saxons were vulnerable. The Norman cavalry wheeled around, cutting them down in the open. As dusk settled over the field, the final assault began. The air was thick with smoke and the smell of iron. The end was near. King Harold fought with the fury of a dying lion, surrounded by his loyal house. But even the bravest kings cannot outrun fate. A final arrow found its mark. Harold fell, and with him, the old world of the Anglo-Saxons. Withered and died on the grass of Hastings, William stood victorious. He had crossed the sea as a duke, but he would walk the halls of Westminster as a king. In the winter's chill, the crown was placed upon his head. The Norman Conquest was complete, and England would never be the same again. 1066. The year that changed everything. A legacy of stone, law, and a new language that would conquer the world.